Dude.
Should I find the remote?
What are you watching? I'm curious. Let me guess. You're watching...
Nothing. Not watching nothing.
You liar. You're just fucking embarrassed. You're embarrassed about what you're watching. Right?
No.
Yeah, you are. You're watching like...
I just walked in the door and the TV's on.
You liar. You're watching Teletubbies or something.
No, that's not on yet.
Teletubbies?
Yeah, it's not on for 45 minutes. 5 minutes!
My son went and got one of them 23andMe tests, you know, to test your DNA and all that.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, dude, you're going to be disappointed. It only says I'm like 10% or something Italian. I'm like, dude, that makes sense because it was our great-grandpa that came from Italy. And, and by the time you get married, and then I got married, my mom wasn't Italian. And then my wife ain't Italian. So by the time that filters all the way down,
Okay.
That's about right.
A little bit of nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A little bit of nothing.
Yeah. That's what people do to survive.
I know.
Thanks to Donald Trump, I still have a job.
It's his fault?
Yeah, he's the one that got us all employed, and he got us all jobs, got us better pay. It's all him.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. It's him.
And only him.
Yeah.
He invented all the work, too, first. That's the part you left out.
He's gonna take credit for it all, which is okay with me as long as everything goes good. I mean, why not? I mean, it seems like more people in this country would rally around good news instead of saying, "Oh, it wasn't him who did anything." It's like, who cares? It's all good news. It's like, let's just all be happy. It's good news. We can never be happy though in this country. We always got to be sad, negative. We always got to down people. It's never good enough.
That's America.
Yeah. I'm saying we pat him on the back. What the hell? I don't think he'd know what to do if we all got behind him. He would know who to yell at. He'd be all bummed that nobody's downing him.
Yeah. Come up with something. He'd have to come up with something to make us talk about it.
Yeah. He'd have to call somebody names. He'd have nobody to call names. He'd have all these names all saved up for people that he couldn't use.
He'll pay someone to come up with some shit.
Yeah, like he probably told someone to release that op-ed that was in the New York Times just so he could start a big controversy. That whole thing, he told the guy and his staff to release that whole thing he created just so he could criticize somebody on his staff. And it was all his idea. So he could say the whole world's out to get him. He probably wrote that op-ed piece himself. It wasn't even a dude on his staff. He wrote it himself, and he gave it to the New York Times just to see if they would publish it.
He's running out of people where he can say,
yeah.
They're coming to get him.
What's funny is no one came up with the idea that he wrote the piece himself.
I just did.
I did. What do you mean you did?
I said he made everything up, and you just said what he made up.
Okay, all right. I'll give you 15% of the credit. I'll give you 25%.
Whatever it is, he made up because he's getting running out of shit. Just 'cause he didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, you're right. You made it. Okay, I'll give you 50% then. Fuck you.
Yeah, I get 100% for the idea and 50% for that part of the idea.
So that's 75%. You went from 15 to 75%. Oh, shit. That's funny, though, man. We're the only ones that came up with the idea that he wrote the piece.
Dude, he's writing all this shit. He has writers, probably. He didn't write it. He paid someone to write it.
Well, he came up with the idea to release it. And then they publish it like a bunch of suckers.
This is like a TV show he's got going.
Yeah. That's a good idea, man. He thought of that himself, too, probably. He's like, let me just make up a thing where they say that I'm incompetent. We anonymously release it to the New York Times. Of course, they'll publish it because they don't fact-check anything. They'll just dump anything out there to sell papers. So, are you in the breeze, man? Are you in a car?
No.
Oh.
I'm at the casino.
It sounds like you are at the casino. I was thinking about making myself a cocktail.
I'm drinking a beer.
I know. I can't smoke any weed. I'm like a month now, dude. I'm a month quitting.
There's more weed out here. You don't even need a car. You just walk. All these homeless are like people without cars. I wouldn't say homeless. They just walk over and get some weed. Like, there's always a dispensary. More dispensaries than McDonald's.
You know, my lungs feel better.
Really?
Yeah, already a month later, man, I can like breathe a whole breath in now. It's like, feels weird. That shit was fucking my lungs up, I think.
Must have, man.
Yeah. For a couple days, like after about a week after I quit, my lungs hurt. And then, like, they started feeling better. So there was something in there that was, like, getting all jostled or loosened. And because I'm thinking, like, you know how you could fail a drug test or something from smoking weed? That shit might be like resins in your lungs, you know? I think there's resin in your lungs. Like from your one-hitter. You know how you get, like, resin in your one-hitter?
Yeah, but it cleans out a little. I mean, somewhat.
I don't even know. I would think. It seems like there's an inhaler you could take that would clean your lungs out.
That's what, I mean, if not, you'd have pounds of dirt from just dust in your lungs over years.
Yeah, maybe.
Just the dust.
Well, I live in a city where, like, the particulates in the air are, like, really high. So, like, every breath I take is, like, detrimental to my life. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nowhere I can really... I guess I could get an air filter for my house. But maybe I should buy one of them.
Chinese motherfuckers.
Yeah. My city, Louisville, Kentucky's got terrible particulates. It's like...
Tell them you're scared of the bird flu. You're just not sure which bird, so you're not taking any chances.
It could be any bird at this point.
Any one of these birds could have it.
That's like paranoia. Dude, I'm paranoid. I'm not paranoid, though, because I quit. I quit smoking weed, so all that paranoia is disappearing.
You were paranoid before?
I think I maybe a little bit.
That goes away here.
You know what's funny? When you quit... Oh, yeah, because it's legal.
You just walk out the door with a big joint. No one even cares. The cops don't even look. You don't even care if they look. You don't even see no cops here, dude. They're like, oh, there's not many cops. I see like one or two, maybe a day. Maybe.
Once you get to a certain point, you don't even crave it anymore. It's like that craving part disappears.
I see more cops leaving Oswego, Illinois to come here than I've seen since I've been here. I'll smoke one for you.
Wow, thanks.
You feel better?
Yeah, that helped. That's all right. I mean,
is that a new place you might go? Gonna make you piss?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Every place does. A friend of mine told me they'd swabbed his mouth with something and he failed.
Wow.
Yeah. And they like didn't hire him at a different place around here. A guy I know here. I'm like, dude, why did you even go in there knowing you were going to fail? I mean, it doesn't even make sense.
Just look up how to pass that test.
He went and got one of them things that's supposed to clear your system out and it didn't work.
He should have also got a do-it-yourself home drug test to see if he even was clean.
I want to get one of them just to see right now if a month is all I need, you know?
Yeah.
I should tomorrow. I'm going to get one tomorrow. I'll let you know next time we do a show if I fail or pass, all right?
The swab might be a different time frame. Might be more accurate. Might be, who knows.
I never even heard of a swab.
Yeah, I've heard of that. That's what they're doing now.
They're doing swab instead of piss because it's probably easier to do.
It's easier. You don't have to handle any piss.
You don't have to go in a room privately kind of and piss in secret where you could be like...
You don't have to handle piss.
Uh-huh.
And it's more accurate.
Huh. You think it's more accurate?
I think so. I say we go with that dude that came up with that idea.
I'm going to Google it. Yeah, we should. Why is he doing that? Why is he making it harder for everybody? Dude.
He killed the Cheater Peter business.
Yeah.
Fake pink that you fill with an urine for your test.
Maybe it tests more different drugs. That's it. It says how to pass a mouth swab drug test, high times.
There's a way to pass it out here, because I know some shady motherfuckers.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense to even test people. I guess if you're driving a school bus or something, I can see
if
that.
You're on probation or something.
On probation for what, though?
Well, some people got to pee when they're on probation.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if everybody can just smoke weed, then what are you probating about it? It's like, God, stupid.
I mean, probation from court, dumbass.
It sounds like you're like in a wind tunnel.
I'm by the window and there's an air conditioner. Is it better?
Oh yeah, it's gone now. Wow, that was weird.
On parole from prison.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Huh. Well, I was going to talk about something scientific. I don't know if I want to blow your mind with it, but...
All right, go ahead, man. I'm in that mood.
All right, you ready for this? There's this guy, his name is Richard Dawson, believe it or not. Not the Richard Dawson who kisses the broads on, like, Family Feud.
Right.
But he's a biologist from England. He's like a famous biologist. And he has a foundation called the Richard Dawson No, it's Richard Dawkins. It's not Dawson. It's the Richard Dawkins Foundation for Science and Research or something, right? And he's like goes up against religious people, like the people who are like what are they called? They're like these fundamentalists. And
right.
The fundamentalists that are like the short earth life fundamentalists, you know what I'm talking about?
Kinda a lot. Anyway, keep going.
Well, the fundamentalists, it's like I wish I knew what they were now. Fundamental. They think like the earth is like 5,000 years old. And so then he goes off and says, oh, you know, the earth is, you know, because of dinosaurs and all that bullshit and you know, it's millions of years old or billions and they're all like, no, the earth is 5,000 years old, you know, and because God created everything at once. Well, here's what I'm getting at, the point. It has nothing to do with this, by the way, because this is stupid. But what he comes out and says, I was watching this show, and he's like, you know, I live in a world of facts. And when you have facts, the facts show that facts are this, and then facts are that. And then the facts are this and that. And then it got me to thinking, I'm like, facts, man, are a bunch of bullshit, if you think about it, really. Because even though, of course, I believe the world's billions of years old, I mean, I believe that, but I'm just saying facts in general are something that people create to suit themselves. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people could say, oh, this is a fact, here's the truth of it, and then just because they've got this list of truths to make a fact doesn't mean that that fact is real, you know?
Right.
That's something. So when someone tells you that this is a fact, it don't even matter what it is. That's just a manipulation of something, because you don't know the truth of anything, really. There's no facts about anything. Yeah, it's a bunch of horse shit. And I'm a scientist too, and I don't believe facts. Facts are something people use to manipulate people. And just because someone says it's a fact and they've got proof of it, they think it proves the fact, don't mean that's real.
That's the same thing with a lot of shit. Like,
anything.
people are like, I Googled it. They Googled the shit, and it's like, so just because you Googled it don't mean it's real, motherfucker.
That's my point. I don't care about the earth part of it. It's just the way the guy was describing how he had facts, and the people who don't believe facts or this, I thought to myself, this guy's a real jerk. He don't know shit about nothing.
He got his ass kicked on the playground.
Yeah, because how do we know aliens didn't bring the freaking dinosaurs here and drop them off on their trip back home? You know, we don't know where they got them from. None of that shit. You don't know anything.
You don't even know if dinosaurs are ever.
All you got is these fossils, or you've got this group of information, and you're interpreting it and then calling it a fact. That's not facts. And that's not even just this subject. It could be any subject. There's no facts about anything. That's not true. Because we don't know where any of this shit came from, to tell you the truth. You know? We're living in a world that we got dropped into. And right now we're just trying to interpret everything around us the best we can. Doesn't mean it's a fact. That's a bunch of horse shit. So I'm not falling for any of that. I do believe it. I mean, and people in the audience were listening to him, they were like, oh, you're so smart. You could say facts are facts. And people are wrong because they don't believe the facts. That's a bunch of weak-minded people is what it is, who fall for people who sound smart. I think I'll Google that, see if that's a fact. Like you said, none of that shit's real.
It's an opinion. This is what I think.
It's not even an opinion, because it's just something that you've concocted, that you've created a bunch of information to back it up.
Because prior to that, it didn't even exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's not even true. I mean, the fact is that the sun comes up on one side and it sets on the other, so the earth must be flat. That's a fact. It's like people all believed it.
That if you did research today and discovered something today, it's not real, because it always existed. You didn't just discover it. You're just making a story up about it.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. That you have now found a piece of information.
For thinking you know what it is. Like
if we discovered aliens and they knew all the shit we knew, but way more, then all of our inventors would be like worthless, because someone else would have already invented it thousands of years ago. It would be like, dude, we did that thousands of years ago.
Like the scuttlefish. Isn't that just an octopus or a squid? Come on.
I love those things. Like, I went to there's a place called the Moat Research Center on Longboat Key. And they have like a whole tank full of these scuttlefishes. Those fish, I tell you right now, that's the weirdest damn animal ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it can change its color any way it wants. It can flash itself like a strobe light.
The scuttlefish is a squid, dude.
It can make little bumps and make itself look like a little rock just by making little bumps on itself.
Instantly. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And then strobe light itself and different colors and designs. It's like, we were at the Moat place, with my mom and her boyfriend and everybody, and they're walking around the whole. I spent the entire time in front of that scuttlefish tank watching that thing. I couldn't get enough of it.
You know, an octopus has like each one of its tentacles has a mind of its own, and they have 250 suckers on each tentacle, and they all can taste. That's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Everything you touch, you're tasting and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, what would be weird is like you be tasting multiple things at once. Like we taste like mostly one thing at a time. It's not like you can taste sour and sweet at the same time. It's just like one or the other. But if you had to interpret like 20 different tastes at once.
No, 250 per tentacle times 8. That's how many tastings could be going on if he engaged all those little suckers at once.
What would be cool if I had a scuttlefish? I'd want to make it do like all kinds of weird shit. Like I'd put like a picture and something in there and see if he could turn into the picture of it. It'd be like,
yeah,
you'd be trying to make the scuttlefish do weird shit.
I'm watching War of the Worlds.
The one with Tom Cruise?
No, the one with Orson Welles.
Wow. That would be weird. That's actually a good movie, that Tom Cruise movie. It's pretty damn good.
It's alright. I mean, it's lacking somehow. It's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Something missing.
Something missing in it.
This is how it really went down.
The thing that's missing is the ending sucked.
It happened all too quick. It's
like they crammed the end in, like, all real quick at the end. Oh, here's the scuttle. Oh, man, this guy really manipulated this scuttlefish.
10 years later, they're still... Then they finally die. It just happened, like, the same day. Like, come on, dude. They're not going to catch a disease in one day and die. It'd be like 4 years later, this comes to an end.
Dude, there's a tiny little scuttlefish. You should see this one. He's like the size of your fingernail.
If they put him in this,
it's called a cuttlefish, by the way. We're calling it the wrong thing. Are we calling it a scuttlefish?
Something like that.
It's a cuttlefish. I'm Googling it. But it might not be a fact, I'm Googling on Google. And
it's more like an octopus than a fish.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fish. It's what is an octopus? What family is an octopus in?
It's in a family of its own, right?
No, I'm gonna see what family. It's got to be a family.
Vertebrate.
My wife. This is gonna sound funny, right? She won't let you say the word octopus because it grosses her out. She's like, so she makes me call it an octofish.
Dude, you are such a pussy.
No, I'm not kidding. She don't
I
like.
would turn around and say it like the Family Guy. Octopus, octopus, octopus. Why is he fucking it?
She don't like it. When we used to date, she wouldn't let me say the word octopus.
Man, you're weird, dude. That's some weird shit right there.
Yeah. So I had to call it an octofish.
I wouldn't even say it. I'd say, you know that thing with the 8 tentacles, the octomom.
The octomom. Those kids are like 20 now. They just got their. They can all drink. They can all drink now.
They all have 5 kids. That's fun.
If I was one of those kids, I wouldn't have any kids after living with all them kids. I'd be like, fuck this.
You were a kid though, so it didn't matter. That.
Wow, you're right. Octopuses are in their own family. Damn, that's weird. All octopuses belong to the order of Octopoda, which are cephalopods.
It's the smartest animal in the whole.
Smarter than a dolphin? I don't know about that.
Dude, octopi came from Mars. Before Mars dried up, they said some weird shit here. Like,
huh?
We weren't even talking about dolphins, were we?
No, but I'm just saying dolphins are smart, I would think.
Think they're smarter than an octopus? I don't think so. I think if an octopus got caught in a fish net, it would get its way out. But a
Yeah.
dolphin doesn't. Dummy.
Well, dolphins
And
can't really manipulate themselves very well.
It can fit through anything that its beak can fit through. Those things are crazy. They can slither out of shit. In fact, if you own one, you have to have a special tank, like with several locks on it. It'll get out of these things, man.
Oh, they always get out. I mean, you ever see that movie Finding Dory? The octopus gets out and breaks Dory free.
I was in that movie.
Yeah. They have the ability to change skin color and texture, too. Octopus. Octofish.
I was one of those migrating salmon.
What about orcas, though? Orcas are supposed to be smart, they said, too.
Right? You see how they do that? They hunt in groups. Like they teach their young how to knock seals off of like an iceberg. Well, later it'll be like a big chunk of plastic.
They can trick the animals into like swimming into a certain area. They like hurt them. Kind of like wolves, you know?
A seal will jump up on an iceberg, and they'll like come up and make a big wave and knock them off. And they're teaching their young how to do that. It was pretty cool. They put them back up there too. I watched the show, and then like in about 10 years,
like a seal manipulating class.
In 10 years, they'll be knocking them off a big chunk of plastic with no iceberg.
Yeah, there'll be no more icebergs.
Be like a cooler, an igloo cooler.
The old orcas will be telling the young ones about how they used to knock them off icebergs.
Now they're knocking off like a pallet that's floating out there or something.
Like the seat from a Volkswagen.
An igloo cooler. A seat from a Volkswagen. Yeah.
That's true.
It's not funny, dude.
No, that's the truth. I'm just stating a fact here.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
When you order your animals, when you order your fish at the restaurant, you're gonna be like, "What's the percentage of plastic in this? What I'm eating?" You're like, "This one's a little more expensive on the expensive menu. It's only 10% plastic."
We're already there. I'm thinking.
You pay more for them. You know how they test the tuna? They take like a core to see what the fat is. They like jab this tool in it when they catch it. Once they bring it on dock, they'll be like testing for plastic content. Hey, this one's pretty good. 10% plastic. All right, we'll get a high dollar for this tuna.
I was thinking we'll probably evolve to be able to handle more plastic in our system over time. Like, because the people who can handle the plastic are going to die off, and then the ones that can are going to breed, and then over time, more and more plastic in our system is going to be acceptable. And it got me to thinking, that same concept got me to thinking that, let's say we go to space. We know how we can't live in space now?
Right.
Like, if we keep having children in space, maybe we could, evolve to live in space, We'll turn into, like, a different animal, kind of. It'll be, like, more of like a space creature animal. And it's...
Good idea. Let's start now. Let's send up, like, little pods of babies.
So, like, let's say we send people to Mars, for example. That's going to happen. I mean, if we don't wipe ourselves out or kill ourselves in the meantime, but let's say we do send people to Mars, and then generations of people start living there, they're going to turn into a totally different animal. They're not even going to be humans anymore.
Why don't we just do the moon? It's a lot closer.
Well, I'm sure we're going to do that, but even if we lived on the moon, we'll turn into a different animal.
Right.
We'll evolve into, like, moon humans. It'll be a totally different type of human.
You could tell. You're like, oh, you're from the moon, are ya?
You're one of the moon people.
I can tell by the way your eyelashes are.
You won't even have any more eyelids. They'll be gone. You have no hair and no eyelids.
I can tell by the way your eyebrows are way higher than mine because of gravity. It's
Yeah.
been phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gravity probably has a lot to do with it. So all the things that might affect gravity.
Yeah, like your cheeks would be higher.
Yeah. I mean,
All
when
kinds.
you get to Earth, like your balls like hit the ground and shit. I'd be like, dude.
That has to be the weirdest thing. The first day when you're in zero up there in space, you're like,
Yeah.
your cock's just floating around.
The whole thing is like floating. Your balls are like floating up over your. It's like
That's got to be the weirdest thing to get used to.
they never mention that shit, in the
might
interviews. Like if I
That'd be my
remember,
one question. How long did it take you to get used to your balls floating around?
that'd be my
You
question
probably
too.
were like a jock or something. Just
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
around. Will you put something on? Your dick's like sticking way out.
Or like, what about a chick's cans? They're instead of like her cans are like sagging down a little bit. They're just like floating right up. It's like, dude, you gotta
I'm
push.
sure they had sex up there. That'd
I'm
be
just saying, it seems like they'd be like floating up to your face, your boobs.
Sex
You'd have to push them down.
awesome, dude. You're just floating in the room with her.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
that'd get you cut off. If like you're asking questions.
Second question.
I got a question.
Sex up there? The two things I would always want to do. One, have sex, and two,
You probably
I
can't get a
checked
boner up there or something. There's probably some physiological condition.
there's like an alarm. Boner alarm. Boner alarm. Everyone gets away from you because it's such a small capsule.
Yeah,
It's like,
they don't want you using up too much oxygen.
hey, put that thing away. You're burning. You're gonna burn up too much oxygen trying to support that thing.
Well, the one guy was up there for like a year, right? The one guy was up there for a year. I mean, I don't care what guy you ever talk to. I mean, he would have had to at least whacked off or something.
I
Once.
wonder if you had sex with a chick up there.
I mean, for a whole year you're up there and you're not even, there's no way that's even humanly possible.
Someone had sex up there. They had to. They're like, I'd be like the one, hey, come on, there's a chick up there, dude. Think about it.
Well, the
You heard-
Russians I'm sure have done it.
You heard of the Mile High Club?
This is the 250 Mile High Club.
Mile High Club.
I like Burt Reynolds, he passed away. It says Burt Reynolds' wealth had dwindled. It's like, it seems like he did it just right. He had all that money and he just spent it all the way just to the end. It worked out perfect. I mean, why would you want to die with a whole bunch of money? That don't make sense.
It sucked out quick and it didn't seem like long ago. He wasn't that old, man. Wow.
Yeah, well, he was 82.
When he first got like a hairpiece.
Yeah,
And you're like, no way.
right.
Man. That's got to put the check on everyone from his generation. Reynolds, damn.
Yeah, that's a sign right there.
And you might as well, but you better go have some fucking fun right now.
Hurry up. You're out of time.
You're going to sit around.
I'm just thinking if you're a rich actor like that, he had it perfectly timed out.
What I'd be having if I was his dumbass.
Oh, he had fun and he did it right. He spent all the money until he just ran out at the end. Perfect. What are you keeping it for? You're keeping it to give it to somebody else? Fuck that. He spent every dime. He's like, I'm spending every dime of this money. Fuck
His
that.
wealth had dwindled with his health.
It was perfect.
I guess that's the way to do it.
Yeah. And it's like they're criticizing him. They're like, his wealth had dwindled in the end. Yeah, he spent all his money on fun.
Probably, he probably had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine the fun that dude had? Holy shit. God, it must have been crazy.
Remember that laugh?
I never got the dinosaur thing though. It's like, really? I just can't even see dinosaur as an option.
Why, was he with her once?
Yeah, it was like, that was the thing. One of his things was dinosaur. I mean, even in her prime, she was just, I don't know. That's just, there must have been something else about Dinah Shore that I'm missing.
I can't even picture what she looks like.
Yeah, that made no sense to me whatsoever.
Hey, let's not mention the movie, man, because, you know.
Because
That's like making a Walter Matthau joke.
it was his best movie. I think. Well, no, I think that one, Boogie Nights.
Come on.
Boogie Nights is his best one.
What about Hooper?
Most young people aren't into him at all. Like, we've probably never seen any of his movies.
Well, that's like us watching some fucking old ass shit.
Yeah, they just have no interest in any of that. I mean, I bet you someone like my kid's age never watched a single Burt Reynolds movie.
Dean, you ever seen the Dean Martin flick? It's a Wonderful Life. That's one of the ones someone might know in black and white.
Yeah. I don't think I could watch that movie again, though. I mean, that's enough for that.
Right? Who knows?